Oh, damn, I froze. Here come Jack telling all these stories. I hate Spanos, what can I say? There goes Chris punching old man at random. He gave me a look, let's make him pay. We got the action, we got the moves. Oh yeah, watch what you say. Dedication, devotion, turning on the nighttime into day. We do the tale about a man in his jeans. Nick do the tale about the mask. We do the Rambo cast. Oh no, Rambo. We do the Rambo. Damn it. We do the Rambo cast. Yeah, we do the Rambo cast. There you go. I messed it up, but
there's Matthew.
I was glad you missed that.
I thought it was going good there for a while.
And
I especially like the part about Chris.
Yeah.
Hitting random old people.
So actually, before we get started, I wanted to do a little quick test. So I'll go first, but I want you to Google search Florida Man and then your birthday. I think you guys will get a kick out of what mine was. So I'll go ahead and start. So I Google Florida Man for my birthday, which is, I'm not going to tell you, is the first article that pops up is Florida man bit an elderly man's ear.
Do I have to do the ear too?
And it attempted to stab him with broken glass. So that's my Florida man story.
Do I put the year in?
No, just the date.
Okay.
Month and date.
Okay. And I got to go under news too, right?
No, just if you hit search, it'll just give you the first thing that pops up is going to be what.
Well, if I go under news, I like this one. Florida man dies after eating raw oysters at Rustic Inn Seafood.
All right.
So, yeah, but that was kind of lame. Anticlimactic.
Mine is Florida man says no more. The judge says no more pizza for August 10th. This is August 10th though. I'm August 11th.
Well, then you messed up.
No, it says Florida man August 11, 2016. For August 10th, we covered. Fucking Florida.
All right, Nick, maybe you can follow directions.
Okay.
I did it. It's just. Go ahead.
Florida man hits dad in the face with a pizza because he was mad that his dad helped birth him.
It's probably connected to Jack's story.
Probably.
All right. Here's the second one for mine. Not under the news section, just under search. It says Florida man interrupts Hurricane Matthew, which is oddly my name. Live TV report to yell, "Dicks out for Harambe."
Oh, Harambe.
Yeah, and it's a white person too. So
cool.
No, mine guy was we covered the story. In this case, Florida man was making fake orders for pizza to a local pizza joint. He was using not just one number, but 5 different numbers. In some cases, he used fake names. In others, he would wouldn't even provide the name. Address he sent the pizza bus. Sometimes they'd pay. Yeah, mine's kind of boring, but let's see. Florida man charged with multiple crimes, harassing phone calls, pay theft. His bail was set at $5,500.
Whose AC just kicked on?
Yeah,
sorry.
Oh, here's Florida man armed with a hand grenade.
wow, okay.
Florida man pulled over for narcotics officer. Approached a vehicle as you usually would, and the dude had a hand grenade. Nice.
He has a thermal detonator.
So there you go. That's my
welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks since
it has been. It has
welcome
been.
back. Is that the song that you sang, Nick?
And we had our last video had 1 million views.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what the thing says. It's probably not true.
You didn't hear my song, Matt?
No, I missed it.
It was the best one ever.
I'll catch it on a rerun.
It was "Walk of Life" by Dire Straits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it started out good, but then fizzled out altogether.
He kind of
Much like this podcast.
Yeah, he kind of choked it towards the end.
Yeah.
Did you say much like your jeans?
He made fun
Made
of
your jeans.
Oh, okay. So
I would
that's fair.
never. I would never.
Never say
Never.
Okay, so Chris, you went to some concerts since we last saw you, right?
Yeah, I did.
Out in the Sunshine State of Colorado.
Is it the Sunshine State?
No.
That's
what's the state motto?
That's from old school.
Oh. Yeah, so went out to Colorado a week and a half ago now.
Was that your first Red Rock show? I don't remember.
No.
You saw Dave there. Yeah, you saw Dave there.
No, I saw My Morning Jacket there.
Dave's,
okay.
I went
Dave's
to a
here.
2-night show
Dave's
back
not
in
here.
2016. So when this time I went out there with my wife and we had friends who live in Thornton, Colorado.
Northern.
And we have friends
Thornton!
And friends from San Diego flew out. My buddy Dave flew out with us from Boston. We got together. It's just like a good reunion of people. Like my buddy Matt, I haven't seen in probably 8 years or so. But we crashed at his house, and then and we kind of spent the weekend, in and outside of Denver. It was a whirlwind of a weekend because there's just like so much shit going on. Like, some people brought their kids, some people, and the people we stay with had kids. So it was like, family fun time when we weren't getting completely.
Did you bring your kids?
No.
So you went away on a trip to get away from your kids, basically.
Yeah,
right? And
absolutely.
But then you were there with a bunch of kids.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That weren't mine.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, my buddy Jeff actually, he and his wife went, but they brought their daughter, but they also flew their nanny out. So the nanny stayed with his kid and babysat for the kid of the people who hosted us.
So they're rich.
Or just neurotic. Fuck it, he's not gonna listen to this episode. Yeah, they're fucking crazy. But yeah, so it was. There you go. It was a great weekend. So if you have not yet been to Red Rocks Amphitheater in Morrison, Colorado, it is an absolute fucking treat that you need to do. It's an incredible experience. So as you guys know, I went to the Gorge last fall, especially last Labor Day. And that was an unbelievable venue. Like just the backdrop of the Gorge is just unbelievable. You can't even put words.
Was it gorgeous?
It was gorgeous. But the difference between the Gorge and Red Rocks is that when you're at the Gorge pre-concert, like you're getting tuned up pretty well, you can kind of see everything. It's beautiful. But once this sun goes down, it's a concert stage. You can't really see anything else. At Red Rocks,
this is at the Gorge. Okay.
Yeah, at Red Rocks, when the sun goes down, you can see everything still. Yeah. Like in not only the Red Rocks, because they shine the lights up against the rock. You can also see the city limits of Denver in the background. It's just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful venue. And we found like a little cave where we parked our car in front of it, and we tailgated in this little cave, and it was absolutely perfect. It was awesome. Like an incredible show. One of the best shows that I think I've ever seen at an incredible venue with a bunch of people I haven't seen in forever. So overall, it was a great trip. But it took me a little bit, a couple extra days to recover from this one, but it was a lot of fun.
There's also someone else I know that lives in the Colorado area that you've not seen in a while.
I know.
That probably would have come down if they.
I know.
I'm assuming they don't have kids.
And they don't have kids. Yeah.
It's one of those things, man, where it's like I'm moving with a group of people, and it's kind of hard to deviate from the master plan.
It basically, Nicky's just saying, "Fuck you."
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah,
I mean, pretty much. But no, it was such a crazy weekend. Like my wife and I literally only had like downtime for like 2 hours, and it was like we got a hotel room in Denver the night before our flight. Just
and
so
then,
we can
as in downtime,
relax.
you mean like?
Fuck no, not even close. We were too fucking tired.
Oh.
It was just a fucking crazy.
Old people's problems.
Oh, fucking hell. Like my buddies are all on mushrooms. I chose not to do that. but they had a blast.
I've never done shrooms.
Oh, they're fun.
No,
They're fun.
I couldn't do it.
See, here's the thing. Like the thing with shrooms now, which are going to be coming to a legal state near you fairly soon.
They're decriminalized in Denver County.
Yeah, and then they're actually going to be used for medicinal purposes because like microdosing, which is something I didn't do when I did mushrooms. Like microdosing has such incredible benefits for the mind and body as well. But back when I did them, I just ate like an eighth of mushrooms.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I was like on a different fucking planet for about 4 hours, but
I can't. I can't deal with that because I get a little paranoid. So
yeah.
but
like
especially around the kids that you're taking care of.
When you do like a microdosing bit, it's more of like a body high than anything else. But
maybe I need that.
So I will tell you though, one thing I did do with this concert is that I stopped drinking when the concert started.
Oh,
and I'm grateful for doing that. What is microdosing? I'll explain that. I'm
like,
grateful for doing that because
micro means small.
I was not a fucking mess the next day, and I remember the entire concert.
Oh. So you remember not seeing Nick?
Yeah, I remember not seeing
I was there.
Okay.
Sherry asked what's microdosing. So microdosing is specifically when it comes to like with mushrooms. I'm not an expert on this or so far yet, but who knows?
He will be a mushroom shaman in a couple of years.
Could be, but now it's becoming a part of the medicinal industry for recreational use drugs and as well as medicinal use drugs. Microdosing is just the idea, like for example, like I have gummies right here, right? So these are my gummies that I like to eat. And they're 5 milligrams per cube, right? So you have like a titrated amount of how much THC is actually in the dose that you're having. And it's a fairly low amount, so you can kind of have 1 or 2 or whatever. It's the same thing with mushrooms and like how they're kind of like processing them and starting to sell them in places that will become legal. You'll be able to buy very small dosage of mushrooms like psilocybin or like like a piece of chocolate with mushrooms,
so that it's not kind of like putting you into the stratosphere of being completely,
which is not what I did when I first took mushrooms fucking 20 years ago.
Comparatively speaking, it'd be like having like one beer as a
probably were, man. What are you saying, Matt?
Comparatively speaking, it would be like having like one drink as opposed to like
one beer for you.
I'm just saying like having a drink as opposed to getting like you're planning to get shit faced. Like those are two different things, and I think a lot of people when they go into like drugs.
So you can't be driving under shroom when you're get shroom.
No, you shouldn't be operating heavy machinery of any kind.
What about a Zamboni?
I mean,
probably not.
Sure,
keep it in low gear.
I mean, if it's on the street, fine.
Not on the ice.
They're saying that people are saying that that's going to be the future for treating depression.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Microdosing mushrooms, yeah, because the benefits that psilocybin has in the brain for some kind of like the chemical pathways is like irrefutable. It's like a wonder drug for some of those receptors. To kind of open yourself up. So that's why you're going to see it. That's why it's been decriminalized in Denver County. That's why you're going to start seeing it pop up on probably in the ballots the next five years or so, because it has such incredible health benefits. I haven't touched them since that time I did them, but I'm interested in doing some microdosing of them like on my own terms. I don't think I could get back into it at Red Rocks. I think I'd fucking lose my mind. So yeah, I think I might try.
A lot of colors.
Yeah.
Than you.
Yeah.
So, but I heard rumors that the Biden administration wants to push decriminalizing marijuana.
Be fine with me.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know why. I don't know.
It's fucking ridiculous that it still isn't.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you want to get more votes.
Yeah.
Well, I've been saying that since the last guy.
Yeah.
The guy before that.
Yeah.
And the guy before that. So I've been through a couple presidents where I've been like, you could get some votes if you just decriminalize this.
I was plus you can tax it and all that stuff.
Oh my God, it makes so much fucking money, and that's why having a medical card is the best thing ever. because like in Massachusetts, the tax rate on it's like almost 30%. The
Really?
amount of money the state is making.
Oh, you know, it's true
recreational
because
marijuana sales is ridiculous.
Because when we went to California and allegedly bought stuff and brought it back, our tax was like $100-something, but the tax was like 25.
Yeah.
The girl behind you is so shocked. She's like, "Oh my god!"
She is, but
she's surprised.
I think that was his dealer.
Probably.
See, I pay $170 a year, like in administrative fees to renew my medical license.
So you don't have to pay taxes,
but I don't pay any taxes on it.
Oh,
that's defeating the purpose of that's raising money.
Well,
let's tax it.
Fine. That's the thing. Like that's what people who come from out of state, like it happens all the time. Like people come from out of state into Massachusetts to buy marijuana because they can do so through recreational. Tax the fuck out of those people. I'm fine with that.
Sherry, how do you get a medical card? You got to find a dealer. You got to find a drug dealer. It's a really weird way.
You just have to have in Chris's case, you have to have aggression issues where you punch old people.
Mm-hmm.
I presume that it's different state by state, but as an example, like there's actually you can find doctors who specifically their practice is solely to educate people on marijuana. So the doctor that I go through, he was actually on the board of cannabis board in Massachusetts before it became recreational. So he's like very well versed in the whole deal. And what you do is you go in and have a conversation with them, talk about what you want to get out of it, and they then make the recommendation for you to then apply to the state to get an identification card, which the state just takes all the money from you, right? But his perspective, and I agree with him too, is that if you have the need to go and buy Advil, you can justifiably go and buy marijuana because if you're utilizing it, much like with the mushrooms bit too, like the microdosing and the different ways you can administer marijuana, not just smoking a joint and getting stoned or hitting a bong or whatever, but like there are so many different ways that you can utilize marijuana from an additional perspective that you could eliminate the use of many other drugs. Like for me, like I don't drink hardly at all anymore.
Right.
And that's because I don't need to. And this kind of gives you that same satisfaction of relaxing and unwinding and without the hangover.
Well, I know my one of the back doctors I went to, the one that gave me the epidurals and stuff like that. He says, I don't prescribe all those medicines, stuff like that. He goes, off the record, just get yourself some marijuana.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, but I go, he goes, well, he goes, you can go out of state and get some of it, or you can, I'm sure you know somebody.
It's ridiculous to me that it's still a question as to whether or not it's legalized.
But I can't smoke. It's too strong now. I can't smoke it.
Well, but the thing is, though, like I
take the chewables.
So like when I was in high school and college, like you didn't really have a choice as to what you're going to get. You just got whatever your dealer had.
Yeah, you're like,
now
man,
you walk in there
and
it's like
and stems.
But the thing is, you walk in there now and like you go in with saying, I want to achieve this. Okay, so what do I get to achieve that? Right? Like I want to be alert and be creative and be able to kind of like create something. Okay, then you're gonna go with this strain, or you're gonna go with this gummy that's specifically designed for that. Or if you want something that's gonna help you sleep at night, like okay, then you want to go for this strain. So you actually can go in and you make a purchase based upon the end result.
Yeah, that's what they have in California.
Right. That's the big difference because there's so many different options.
Yeah.
When we were buying weed in college and
just
high
imagining like
my dealer in the 80s was Nancy Reagan because she said no to drugs, and then she had the market cornered.
Yeah.
That red dress. I mean,
yeah. Well, they call her the blowjob queen. Is that what they?
Oh, really?
I've never heard Nancy Reagan referred to as the blowjob queen.
You've never heard that. That's the rumor on the streets that's how she got her. That's how she made her way up in Hollywood.
Okay.
That's the rumors. I don't.
We just went from medical marijuana to Nancy Reagan's blowjobs in the span of 15 seconds. That's what you get at the Ramblecast.
You too, and like I said, it's what all the kids talk about. I guess it was in who's that? Was it Kitty Carryall or a kid? No, that's the That's Cindy Brady's baby doll. There was a writer that didn't like Nancy Reagan, and
Jack has a lot of Brady Bunch flashbacks on this show.
yeah, I do. But yeah, Will Fry says, in the 30s she was the blowjob queen of Hollywood. But unfortunately, through Hollywood's whole, with Weinstein, all the women had, if they wanted to go, improve, they had to do things that, anyway, that they, the casting couch, basically.
Right. John says, welcome to the Joe Rogan podcast. Ouch.
Well, that's why we have 1 million views.
Yeah.
That's true.
Was this the only concert you went to, Chris?
He went out to.
Matt said concert as in plural, so I wasn't just.
I did
it was
find
just
out.
Kind of a general kind of,
I went one right before our last episode.
Chris went to your neighbor's house.
Yeah, I saw a concert last night. I went and saw Roger Waters, Pink Floyd, which this is my third time seeing him live in a decade, and always an excellent show. Can you guys hear me, or were you just?
Yeah, we can hear you. Roger Waters, excellent show.
Excellent show, because he always has like a theatrical way of performing the way all Pink Floyd did. So there's always things to read and political points with every song, and it tends to make it sometimes funny and sometimes sad, and lots of random cheers at times. And it's a highly recommended tour. I know Will Fry just saw him as well in Nashville.
Well, you were traveling all over the place though, weren't you? Because
I went for Labor Day. I just went towards the middle of the state. I went to Glenwood Springs, which is on I-70, and that's where Doc Hollywood is. Doc Holliday is.
Doc Hollywood. Yeah, that's a movie with Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox, yeah. But it's where Doc Holliday is buried, and as well as Kit Curry, yeah, and
Kid Curry from Alias Smith and Jones.
From Kid Curry from Butch Cassidy's Son's Kid.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah. And so I did that, and then went to a couple shops, and then went camping. And I always forget every time. So I pull up my campsite. It's like 68 degrees. I'm like, anyway. So I pull up my campsite. This is gonna be great sleeping tonight. 68 degrees, and then within hours it was down to 35. I was just like,
wow.
Because
that would be nice because I'd like 35 out here right now.
Yeah, but but in the middle of summer you're not expecting it. But you're up around 9,000 feet. Of course, it's gonna get cold. And so
because even Southern California's had a huge heat wave. The Aztecs opened up their stadium. It was sold out, and then you look at the stands. You gotta go. There's nobody there. Where are they all at? They were all hiding, looking for shade. They were passing. People were passing out, and so the game was at 12:30, and it was like 105 degrees.
No, you just don't go to the game. That's stupid. Like,
well, a lot of people didn't go, but the people put. It was the first game at the new stadium, so people wanted to go, and it's like 105 degrees, and people were passing out. But it's funny about you mentioned Doc Holliday. When you sent me that text. Mm-hmm. I had just stopped watching a documentary on Doc Holliday. I was like, does he know what I go? How does he know what I'm doing?
I know.
But I stopped watching it. So he goes, you're not going to finish it? I go, I can't stay awake. These people talking are so fucking boring. It's like, this is Doc Holliday. It's like, oh my God, make it more interesting. Because I usually like those type of documentaries. And I started to watch another one. And I go, wait, is this Newt Gingrich talking? I go, no, I'm not going to listen to it. I wanted to watch it. But I said, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this either. So I was a little put on. But I think I might go back and watch it. But it was like, it's just boring.
Yeah.
If the narrators are boring, it's like, if you're doing an audiobook like Chris does. And if the person reading it is boring.
Oh, yeah. I've had some like that.
You can't keep into it.
The worst voice actor ever.
But we a couple weeks ago, Sydney and I went to an RV show here in Raleigh, and I go first. I go, it was at NC State's, the fairgrounds. I go, why are there so many fucking people here? Is there a game today? No, it was all people there for the damn RV show. I couldn't believe how crowded it was at these things. Now, I went in, van conversion was my number one choice, and a smaller RV. Trailer was my last choice. I go, I don't want to get a trailer. You got to pull it, all that fucking stuff. I left going, okay, trailer's the one I want to go with. I want to go with the trailer. I'd have to get
an Airstream.
Do what?
Do an Airstream.
Airstream.
An Airstream.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
An Airstream.
No, I just want to drive it. I just want to drive it.
I want to comment on John Retired Guy's comment here. Roger Waters does sing the majority of the time, but on those few tracks where Gilmore was dominantly the lead vocal, he does let someone else from the band sing them because Rogers only has like a very limited range of what he can sing.
Yeah, he sits there and goes rants in a very odd political rant for 15 minutes and then sings 2 songs. We lost Nick.
He did do that a few times. Yeah, he did that a few times where he just kept talking, and then like when he'd sing, you're like, Jesus Christ, Roger! Like,
well, that happened the last time the last band when I saw Van Halen. David Lee Roth just kept talking.
Oh God,
because he can't sing anymore.
He's all coked up.
Yeah, and the people were like booing and I go, they were interesting stories. I mean, it wasn't like the stories were boring.
Like you're never gonna have a boring story from David Lee Roth.
No, I was fascinated by it, but people we came here to hear you fucking sing. I'm like, I just tell the story. I'm interested.
Yeah, the only issue I had with the show at all was just the very first song, because he opens up with "Comfortably Numb," which is one of the most recognizable Pink Floyd songs. But
yeah,
I always thought that the feud between him and Gilmore was it started with Waters, but now over the years it's kind of gotten to where Gilmore's the more bitter.
Oh, we lost Nick again.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, earlier when I was gone and I came back,
and
I thought you guys were talking about Nick, but it was really just Roger Waters.
That's Roger Waters, yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
I thought it was amazing because it seemed very bitter of Roger in this show, because there's a lot of pictures of Pink Floyd throughout the show, but all the pictures are early Floyd when Gilmore was not in the band, and then.
I'm also imagining like a picture where Gilmore is just like crossed out with some like ex-girlfriend, like a pen. That's like the only photo he has, but he's gonna put it up there anyway.
But that's what. There's not one image of Gilmore in the entire concert. And then in the first track, because "Comfortably Numb" was primarily written by David Gilmore, he made it very Roger Waters. It's like because it's more of a mellow version, and then they took out the guitar solo entirely. And I was like, oh. Like, you're basically just erasing Gilmore from his own song. But other than that, I mean, past the first track, I was like, I like the show.
So they don't talk anymore, is what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I think that come early 2000s, I think Waters was willing to work again with Pink Floyd, but Gilmore was just bitter because the whole 80s. I mean, Roger Waters was a dick, and he just he kept suing them and just all the shit talking he does, and I think Gilmore just never got over it.
Well, if you keep suing me,
yeah,
I'm probably gonna say fuck you.
Yeah, but I mean, they got to go together for Live Aid in 2005, and I think Roger Waters expressed like, hey, like let's get back together, and Gilmore was like, no.
Yeah, let's get back together so I can fucking sue you again.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would probably prefer to see Roger though in concert over Gilmore. They're two totally different kinds of artists, but Roger always brings the theatrics. It's like going to watch a play almost, because it's just like so much stuff's going around the concert venue. But the version Gilmore just kind of gets up and just plays the songs and leaves. I mean, there's always stuff, but it's not like Roger. But anyway, good show. I do always highly recommend going. And he just turned 79 last night. So he's probably not going to tour too much longer.
So now you see why he's talking every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Where was that place where there was some tower or something? There was
Crystal Mill.
Crystal Mill. Yeah, that was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, Crystal Mill is it's a very photo. It's a place where a lot of people go just to take that photo, and but it's a bitch to get to. It's either rent an ATV and drive, or walk 7 miles in and 7 miles back out. And I had never gone to it, and a friend of mine had went. Was like, "Oh, I think your truck can make it." And I did do it in the avalanche, but it was one of those where I was cussing the entire time because it was just like 4 miles an hour, like rock. Like just because it's not a good road. It's just a shitty.
Any damage to the truck?
No, I know how to drive. No.
Well, I know you know how to drive, but it's
No, I didn't. I mean, aside from just like limbs, like kind of going on the side, and a good wash and wax will knock out that stuff. But it was pretty good.
Oh,
Did get to see 2 young people go skinny dipping right in front of me at that same place. And I was like, well, I'm sitting right here. I guess y'all aren't shy.
Well, they figured they walked all the way out. Did they walk out there, or did they drive out there?
I'm not sure. I didn't ask them. They probably
they're on Nick's OnlyFans page. So
where would they keep their keys? I guess that would be the question. So I guess they had to walk. Right?
It was like us. Like right now, I was having a conversation with both of them. And then and then after I got to leave, I was walking up the hill, and I turned around to take another photo, and I just see like just bare ass, and I'm just like, "What the hell?" Because it's a tourist attraction.
So they basically were sitting there, is this old guy ever gonna leave?
Pretty much. Yeah. I probably did think I was old.
What? So what happened with the bear? Sorry, that was a reach there. I mean, you see a bear ass in the wild like that.
That's right.
Hey, so John
and the bear.
John in the chat says, did anyone else watch the concert for Taylor Hawkins? Me and Angie wound up watching all 6 hours. Wow. So this one snuck up on me. I didn't know it was happening at all. I had no idea that this concert was even going to be on. And I would have watched the shit out of it, but I've watched a ton of clips. And it looks like it was one of the most well put together shows, or tributes, I should say, from Taylor Hawkins' kids playing. Like that. How amazing is that? And then he had what's his name from Queen came out and sang that song, but then the whole crowd started singing with him. Like it was an emotional tribute. I mean, of all the clips that I've seen from it, and just seeing like Dave Grohl like break down on stage, like it was unbelievable to see. I only wish I knew it was happening, because I would have watched that live. I would have even thought to potentially go to that, even though it was overseas. But that would have been an amazing concert to be at.
Where was it at?
It was in England, I think, wasn't it? Let me double check.
Wembley Stadium.
It was in London.
London.
Yeah. It's a good reason to go to London.
Yeah. Do you need a good reason to go to London?
No. I need to get to Europe. Speaking of London and or Wales, I started watching Welcome to Wrexham. You guys watched that at all?
Oh, yes.
Dude.
Yeah?
I didn't see it, but at this time it'd be a good time to take
what the fuck?
A commercial break.
Damn it.
Dun, dun, dun.
You're leaving them hanging. They're going to want more. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
So Welcome to Wrexham is a documentary. It's on FX. I realized that with my YouTube TV that I have here, I can just set it and forget it, and it records it for me, which is fantastic. It's a documentary about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Oh, I heard about that.
The Wrexham Football Club.
Oh,
and it's pretty great. They did a really nice job so far. I mean, I think I'm up to date. I think the
four episodes.
Yeah, I think a new episode's dropping tonight. Actually,
is there? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know when they drop.
I think it's
what network's it on?
It's
FX.
Or if you have
Hulu. Yeah,
okay. One of the two.
But it's really well done. So it's kind of like a mix between like Hard Knocks and Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
My first thought was they're trying to capture Ted Lasso.
No, because I mean this was happening
before.
before.
Oh, really?
Same
Same
simultaneously.
time.
Yeah, because actually
But-
they make reference to Wrexham in Ted Lasso, and there's also like a cameo from those two. Oh, hey, Chris Dorrance says it's on right now. And there's actually a reference in the show
Oh,
where
okay.
Rob McElhenney and
They buy into the team, right? Is that what it is?
they purchased the team.
They
purchased the team.
They're
Okay.
the owners. They're
So the
co-owners.
Wrexham Football Club is one of the oldest football clubs in their
Wales.
their pitch, if you will,
Their
is
pitch,
the
yes.
race course or the racetrack, I think it's called. It's the oldest stadium currently in use right now for any sporting team.
Or maybe
it's
they're
just
like the
soccer. I don't even
third
know.
oldest league.
What? Because it had to be.
or something
Well, it
like
had to be
that.
the
But
1800s.
they have a very old league,
Because Wrigley and Fenway are pretty old, aren't they?
very old team. So
Fenway was built in 19. Fuck, I don't even know. Anyways,
it's worth a watch.
it's worth a
for
watch.
sure.
It really
Yeah.
is.
All right, I'll have to
I
check it
was-
out once I get Hulu.
And because they keep dropping them, it's one of those shows that I saw the first 2 episodes and I was like, shit, I gotta wait for more.
Yeah.
And it hooked me, and I wanted to know more. And even when this last one ended, I was like, oh, come on.
Was it
And
talking
you don't
Players'
see
lives and
you don't see Dee at all. His wife, Rob,
Right.
from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know the actress's name, but she plays Dee on It's Always
Yeah.
Sunny.
oh, so it's that. Okay, now I got it.
And so there's a moment where like you see her and you're like, oh shit, she is in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the gist of the story is that the Wrexham Football Club's been in the league that they're in for like the last 14 years. They haven't been promoted out of that league that they're in, and which is actually the first episode does a really nice job of kind of explaining how soccer in the UK grounds opened up in 1807, first used for soccer in 18. Wow, that's old as fuck.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so it's
Chris.
a little older than Wrigley.
Yeah. So what's interesting is that, like, with the way those leagues all work, so it's like the league,
The tiers,
Champions
the
League, is
Premier,
like-
and then Champion, and then there's 2 below that.
yeah. And what's interesting, and they make a really good point. I kind of wish they would do this with the MLB or
Right.
NFL, where, like, at the end of the season, only certain teams get promoted and they get
Mhm.
moved up to the next league, or they go to relegation, or they drop down a league.
Like that happened in
and-
Ted Lasso. Oh, spoiler.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And,
No, that's
and
exactly
Wrexham's been stuck in this rut for like 13, 14 years. And I mean, if you look at the business behind it, it's clear that, Rob McElhenney saw an opportunity to kind of buy in cheap to try and make a turn, or at the very least make a TV show out of it, right? But to try and rebuild the team to get them out of where they are. But what's really interesting and cool is that a good portion of the documentary is actually focused on the town, because
and the
of
people in the town.
how important that team is to that town and the people. So it's a good, it's really well made. So for what I've seen so far,
Question.
it kind of gives you like a real kind of hooks you in.
In English soccer, do they have drafts, or they just is it all free agencies? Free agents.
I have
It's
no
all free
idea.
agencies.
There's no. Well, how do they get their players?
You just hire them.
They just
Find
find them
out.
on
Yeah.
So it's free agents. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
So that would be why it would be hard if you're in the bottom tier leagues. How do you get better, because you can't.
Yeah.
Great
It's-
point.
A star
it's in the
player.
show.
If I'm a
It's in the
star
show.
player, I'm
Great
not going to
point.
go to a crap.
That's
exam.
actually a major plot line of what's happening.
Okay.
And not necessarily a plot line, because it's
Well, I mean,
IRL.
it's an actual
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
but it comes up though.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I've just been thinking. I go, well, if you can't, you'd have to get someone go. Okay, I'm going to buy into this. I'm going to come to your team for a year or two.
Right.
Get some good
It's
players.
literally
and then-
what's happening right now. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I would
Okay.
just
I didn't
say-
write it. I'm just saying.
No, but it's the trials and tribulations, right? Because you have this team that doesn't have shit for money because no one's going to them. In the last 2 years, they couldn't get any attendance and they can't make any money off the games because no one could go to the games because of lockdown.
Yeah.
COVID.
And then you think about where's all the money coming from, and then here comes Hollywood, comes in, two big name actors come in and buy the team.
Don't spoil it.
But
Well,
that's what it is,
you know,
and they're
well,
they're trying to make the moves, make the
Does
changes.
Steve Martin come in? Does Steve Martin buy the team and then die?
Yeah, seriously, fucking. I still haven't watched that shit. Thanks, Matt.
I didn't spoil anything.
You
should
fucking
watch it.
did.
Yeah, you did.
There's more to the show. Jack, have you watched it?
No.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't have Hulu, but you know what? If we had some patrons that actually gave money, and we took that money that the patrons gave us and made a Hulu account for Jack, and any,
I'm going to get Hulu again. All right.
I'm just saying,
I still thought it was funny though. The time Chris sent me a text. Did you cancel your Hulu account?
I go, on Jack's coattails of that.
I go, yeah, we did. I'm sorry.
My daughter knows your name like by heart. She goes, "What happened to the Gladfelter's Hulu account?"
It's funny. No, we're gonna sign up for it again in a couple weeks. Just riding it out.
We're waiting.
Yeah. When all the shows come back, because I gotta watch.
We're just gonna be under. We're just gonna be under Chris's like.
I gotta watch
ass like.
I gotta watch La Brea.
Yeah,
and
is
it back? What is it on? Is it back?
It's on.
Peacock,
it's on NBC.
NBC.
It's on NBC. Oh, that's right. It won't be on Hulu, will it? Well, how did I watch it?
It was on the cock, man.
Oh, I think I did have Peacock back then.
I gotta watch my.
Yeah, and they I'm pretty sure they announced the opening date for Chris and I's favorite show.
Oh, the Manifest.
When is it coming back? I missed this.
Yeah, I think they announced. I don't know. I have to look. Your internet's better than mine. You can look it up. But I want to say it's November.
Nick tries to look something up. It's like
is it like what season is it? The 5th season?
It's to be the 4th and final season.
Oh my God!
4th.
How did they drag that show out?
I don't know. I've got no clue.
I did catch up on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I watched.
The most recent season.
Yeah,
November 4th.
Yep. Yeah, November 4th.
It wasn't. I don't think it was my favorite season.
No,
but it did have some funny parts to it. I mean, it of course it goes. It's not PC. It's not a PC show.
I like the whole young Larry.
Yeah, young Larry. Yeah,
the
whole voting thing where he gets out of flying.
Yeah,
I just love how because I think Curb Your Enthusiasm will age better than Seinfeld. Eventually. But
because it's edgier. That's why.
Yeah, but I like just how he can take the dumbest idea and just make it the running joke of the entire season. It's like,
yeah,
why is there a fence around a swimming pool? Let's just run with it for an entire season.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's also, he's free of the network confines of even just a commercial break. Like he doesn't have to do we got to take a break here.
That would have been a good point to take. Actually,
I love when it's Leon, right? His roommate, and you wouldn't need to be.
Nick's calling the shots here.
It's Leon, right? He would eat the watermelon in front of. You're unmuted.
He's not wrong. Like that actually was perfect. Like when you said it, I was like, "Oh fuck! Can we take another commercial?" Because that was too good of an opportunity to make a segue.
Nick inspired me. He was like talking about the Seinfeld thing, and I'm thinking about the reason
Nick,
I keep
your internet is exceptionally terrible tonight. By the way,
it is terrible today. Yeah, I don't know why.
Like tonight,
terrible,
real bad. Every once in a while, I get like a portrait of Nick.
Colorado man's internet's bad.
I think next week we have our neighborhood meeting, our yearly neighborhood meeting, and so I am putting my foot down, like we're getting fucking fiber. We're getting fiber.
Let's go.
And they're gonna be like, "What is fiber?"
I took my fiber.
I already have fiber.
I took it this morning as my breakfast.
What's this ginger talking about? I don't know.
If this
eat a wicker basket last night for dinner.
If this is Curb Your Enthusiasm, though, Nick, the thing would be is that as you get up to stand up to talk, like something's in your throat and you can't talk, so it's kind of like you're frozen, like your internet's down in real life. You're like, all these salty pretzels.
What was the actress? He was. What's her name? The congresswoman. What was her name? Or councilwoman? What's the actress's name? But anyway, she's hilarious. That had to be all ad lib with her going back and forth. It was so damn funny.
Tracy Ullman.
Yeah. Yes.
Tracy Ullman.
Yeah.
Wow.
She plays the councilwoman that he has to sleep with in order to get his law passed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and
So
Tracy Ullman was an amazing foil, I think, for the season.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, say what you say about the
She's
season.
responsible for getting us The Simpsons too.
She is. She's like what does that make her? The godmother of the Simpsons?
Yeah.
So
Will Fry brings up a question that I think Matt and I would be. I'm going to take a look at it. I don't know if I'll buy it or not because I know that
there's a Beatles Revolver Deluxe edition being released.
Yeah, it's been announced. I was reading about it a week ago though with Martin,
George Martin's
son, and how like the difference between Sgt. Pepper, White Album, Abbey Road, and Let It Be is that there are multiple takes of all those songs.
Mm-hmm.
Is Soul and Revolver.
Oh, Nick only had one take at this.
Let me catch up here.
Is there a deluxe edition of your internet that we can get?
I would
all of the outtakes, all of the missing jokes.
Wait, I got a question for you, Nick, because you watch a lot of shows on streaming. Do your shows ever?
No, it's something with either the Google with this. Because even when I turn on my camera demoing and I have like 15 or 17, this never happens. It only happens with this. That's it. And so it's got to be the Google whatever we're using here.
Well, this is StreamYard. It's not
StreamYard. It's something either with StreamYard or it's just that the cameras are so good for all four that the download can't handle it and the upload as well.
Oh yeah, these cameras are so good.
So good. Yeah.
Choice.
But he was saying that one, there wasn't a lot of takes, and if there was, because back then all they had was a 4-track recorder, so that you have like drums, rhythm, and something else all on one track, and then so it's harder to break it down.
But it's Revolver.
But if it's just gonna be like 12 takes of Tomorrow Never Knows instrumentals, then I'll be like,
it's gonna be like
I'm all about
extended
that
album.
I'm all about the 12 takes of unreleased Tomorrow Never Knows takes because
I
love the alternate version.
But it's just John strumming on C for like.
It's gonna be awesome, and you're gonna get it. So don't pretend like you're not going to.
The washing machine version of Tomorrow Never Knows off the anthology.
It's kind of like that extended cut of Fleetwood Mac's Rumors that came out. All the extra like multiple cuts of all the songs that they did at the end of it. Like you have like 15 different versions of Never Going Back Again, which is one of my favorite songs. But it's different, but it's awesome. You're gonna get it.
Is there a way that we could put out a bonus content material that is just all of the jokes that Nick cut out on? So it's just like random things like.
Just take all Ramblecast, the dial-up edition.
Yeah, the dial-up edition.
Please feel free to like.
You can't actually get it from like iTunes. You have to like email us, and we'll have to send you like a 23-hour disc, like DVD ROM that has the podcast on it.
That only works on Windows 95.
It's just random snippets of Nick saying stuff that doesn't make any sense because it's all out of context.
Where's Dennis used to do your classic hits?
Yeah.
Did he just dump you?
No, I think because that was the Married Man era where we had so many stories that we had never told, and then
that's true. I think Dennis could be in charge of that. I
mean, Jack, you have all of this time at home.
Do I have all this time at home? I'm the busiest retired guy you've ever seen. Today, this is what I did today. I dropped my wife off at work, came back, had my granddaughter with me. Then I had to take her to her preschool. Then I went out and picked up my grandson, brought him back. Then I took my grandson, had to pick up my granddaughter at school, came back. Then I had to pick up my wife and come back. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
All you had to do
your day was shot.
Huh? That's all I did. That's all I did was
your day was shot.
I should have done an Uber and discharged people.
It doesn't take that much out of you.
Driving?
Sitting behind a wheel.
Well, you still got the kids hanging around.
I mean, I get it. There are all of these errands that kind of soak up the day,
They do. And I miss my nap. So.
You're so fucking old.
Well, I don't sleep at night. I sleep like 2 or 3 hours, and then I need my nap. I need it. I want that nap. Oh, that looked kind of rude, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it did.
Damn.
15 minutes, like 15 seconds. You gotta go back and get that one. That was awesome. You caught yourself mid fucking
It's like,
mid
whoops.
mid chomp.
1 million views. Pow! Right to the kisser.
Oh my God, that's gonna be bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm keeping my hands down. So
what do they call it?
like
I'm gonna
dueling
get
photos.
canceled. I'm gonna get canceled because I'm abusive.
You were never picked up.
Thanks.
What?
man.
I'm just trying to, dish out what I'm
I
hearing.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not even listening to you. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Just tease.
I
did watch a movie. I watched this movie, Badland. It's it had Kevin Feige in it. That's why from Lost.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't gotten any thank you from saving his life. But the guy that's it's you wouldn't like it, Nick, because what it is the Pinkertons are going after Confederate officers that had war crimes, and they were going to either hang them, or bring them to justice. They were sentenced to death, so you wouldn't like it because the Confederate soldiers were the bad guys in this one. But the guy that was the main guy, Kevin Markley, I don't. He was trying too hard to be Clint Eastwood. I was like going, okay, all right.
That's the director's fault.
Yeah, I just be. You can't be Clint. You're not Clint Eastwood, so shut the fuck up. Just do. It was okay. I mean, I finished it, but it was like, it was Jeff Fahey was great in it.
Yeah, I gave the Elvis movie a shot because it came on HBO for free, and I was not a fan.
Really?
Yeah,
I love the Elvis movie.
It had moments that were good, but I felt they didn't know what story they wanted to tell. Because it was. That's what I expressed to you, Jack, is that I was worried that Tom Hanks playing the Colonel, was he going to make the story all about him? And it is. It's more slanted towards the Colonel's point of view than it is Elvis's.
Yeah, because go ahead.
Yeah, and so and then I didn't like a lot of the modern takes of Elvis songs because I don't like it when they do that. Just keep the songs the way they should be. But I mean, it was fine, but I just didn't.
Well, how many different movies do we need of Elvis? I mean, how many different ways can they tell the Elvis story that we've already seen 1,000 times, and it's been documentaries and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But Colonel Tom Parker, I didn't know that much about him.
Right.
I just knew he was a weasel.
Yeah. I mean, no, the acting is fine. I mean, I just
the guy that plays Elvis, like I said, give him the Academy Award now. I thought he was fantastic.
I haven't tried the Elvis movie, and I'm still an episode behind on Game of Thrones because one dropped this weekend.
Game of Thrones ended a few years ago.
The Ring of Fire one, the new.
That's
Fire.
That's a Johnny Cash.
Yeah, the Ring. That was with River Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon.
Do you mean House of the Dragon? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, the dragon thing. Game of Thrones. It's we have 2 fantasy shows now that have prequel shows, basically. Like, you have the Lord of the Rings TV show that's a prequel, going back hundreds of years or whatever before the events of Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. And then you got Game of Thrones, and they're going back prequel style, all the way back to like, I have no idea how these things are going to connect, so
I have not watched any of them.
Yeah, House of the Dragon is good. So far.
I gotta be honest with you, House of Dragon, I like it, but it really jumps. I mean, they really leap 2 or 3 years at a time. It's like,
well, they have to, yeah.
Oh, so is the 3rd episode leap forward more?
3 years.
Okay.
The young kid is already in
spoilers.
He's already in college.
Spoilers about that.
So you remember, the first 2 episodes are pretty much back to back.
Yeah. That's why I was like,
but,
I hadn't gotten to that element of like, what's happening here with this?
I mean, I'm glad they did it in one case because I don't want to spoil you because he does marry someone younger.
Yeah, you remember that at the end of
and
episode 2.
And it's kind of gross, but it's like okay.
Yeah. So basically, when it comes back, because they're all, I think the daughter as well as her friend are 14 at the end of episode 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're like going, okay.
And they're roughly 17, 18 in the 3rd episode.
I see.
Even though they're played by the same actresses, it's like
that's fine. I figured that things would need to be moved forward.
Yeah.
Like they should.
It just to me, I was like going, okay, wait, where are we at now?
In fact, I think in the trailer, the season trailer, maybe that's the end of the first episode, you do get a peek at like what's to come. And I think I kind of knew like, oh, there's going to be, and I liked that aspect. I didn't want to just kind of stay like, oh, she's going to be 14 forever, or in this like kind of younger kind of. I was like, I wanted to move the story forward with what happens in the. Yeah. Sorry, Nick froze.
No, I mean I like it. It just to me it's like, how about 6 months at a time or like 8 months at a time?
Well, that's the thing is that like there's only 2 novellas written about this, and they're basing it off of the book of Fire and Blood, which is kind of like a history of the Targaryens, and so it's more like a history book, and so they kind of have to do it that way. But at least it has source material, whereas in the Lord of the Rings one, they're basically using these little appendices, from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So it's like you have nothing to work with, whereas in at least House of the Dragon, you have George R. R. Martin there going like, oh, yeah, this is how it should be. Because he's more hands-on with this show than he was with Game of Thrones, apparently.
Huh, okay. Interesting. I
can't see it going more than 2 seasons, though. But
I do like the Lord of the Rings. There's some elements that happen. Just some elements that are happening kind of in the show in the first couple episodes that I've seen that I was like, I was just enjoying like what was unfolding, and even if there is like less material to go off of, I'm kind of liking just seeing more of this world being fleshed out. Like oh hey, what is this? There's an elf that's part of the main story in the first episode. So, and there's something that happens to this character, and it's almost supernatural, and so then that's got me like, oh, and there's
Superman shows up.
Well, there's that, but there's another supernatural element of the ship that I'm just like, whoa,
is Elrond in it?
Elrond Hubbard is in it. He shows up at the very end.
Is that guy still alive?
That dude's old as shit, isn't he? Elrond?
I just asked if he's still alive.
Elrond.
The main elf
talking about
from Lord of the Rings.
What's his name? Mr. Anderson. We're talking 2 different shows, aren't we?
I think so.
Were you talking about the Lord of the Rings? Or you talking about the other one?
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I was
talking about the same thing. He's just getting confused with Elrond. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just confused.
Is he in the series? Is what I'm saying.
I don't know.
I think he's supposed to be like really young, but I'm not sure if he is in it or not.
Because he's like
he's really old.
100 years old
in
in
the Rings. Yeah.
Fellowship, I think.
Because he's there clearly at the battle when they defeat Sauron.
Right.
So
right. That's right. I imagine there's going to be some things that tie into those books that I'm not even aware of, but I'm along for the ride. So, anyway, that's what I've been
credited
watching.
for any episodes as of yet on
Okay.
IMDb.
I think
John, the retired guy, is watching The West Wing for the first time.
Dude. Yeah, for sure. What's her name?
Mandy.
Moira Kelly, Mandy, the worst.
Mandy.
We talk about Mandy all the time. We talk about Mandy more.
But it's funny how when people watch it for the first time, they go, "That character is so annoying."
She's the worst.
And it's just not good writing for her. It's not the actress's fault. They just tried to make her this hipster type, and it just got to the point where it's like, you have all these great actors and actresses, and they have great stories, and you made her be out this clown.
So who's worse, Jack? This character or Kirstie Alley in North and South?
Oh God!
Because Kirstie Alley in North and South, to me, is the worst character ever written for television.
Well, she was on the south side, right?
No, she's on the north, but she's
No,
like,
that's why you didn't like her.
no, it's just because like it's just you have all these like regular people in a series, and she's just batshit crazy the entire series.
Well, there's crazy people. I mean,
Yeah.
it was crazy times. I mean, I to be honest with you, the only thing I remember from North and South is when the two brothers, the writer guy, he was the reporter, and his brother was on the other side. They hold up, stop the shooting, so they can talk. And so they went out there and talked, and of course, I mean, it's been a while because Patrick Swayze, right? That's
Patrick Swayze.
Leslie Ann Down.
It's a good series.
I'd like
I've
to
never seen it. It's good. Yeah.
It's an excellent series, but I've tried to find it. I can't find it.
It's barely been a decade since I've watched it.
Nick's family watches it every Christmas. So
Every Christmas. Yeah.
Well, they only watch it to a certain point.
To a certain point.
Once they get to Gettysburg, they stop watching it. They go, we gotta stop watching. We gotta stop. This show takes a turn for the worse right about now.
That's not what happened.
Bullshit. A show because they said West Wing. A show I started.
Abe
watching
Lincoln is not my president.
Well, before hold on 1 second. Before you got off of West Wing, like what he just mentioned, he just finished up season 1 and is in the beginning of season 2. That season 1 going into season 2 is some of like the most intense like storylines for that show. Like I can't even imagine. I didn't watch it live when it first aired, but I can't imagine being stuck at that cliffhanger in real life at the end when spoiler, there's a shooting, right? But like you don't know what actually happens until the beginning of of season 2. It's kind of like Dallas, who shot JR. You know what I mean? But incredibly intense, like final couple episodes in first few of season 2. And I just watched an episode of season 2 where it's Josh is kind of going back and like dealing with his PTSD, and that episode was fucking brilliant.
Well, it was brilliant. Plus, it was like 4 or 5 episodes down the road, so you're like going, what the hell's wrong with Josh?
Right?
Because because I like the fact they just didn't. Okay, we're going to throw this at you.
Yeah,
and it's a fantastic episode. Like when he yells at the president, you're like going,
dude, you put Aaron Sorkin in a room with a Tony Montana mountain of cocaine and a computer, and I will watch anything he writes. Like he's such a good writer. Sorry, you were saying.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. No. Just because just political based shows, I was like, because I never watched it ever, and then I was like, if it's on my list forever, I started watching House of Cards. And I've been kind of like, because I knew that some people were disappointed after a certain point. So I Googled it. It's like, when do you stop watching House of Cards? And most people are like, after season 2. So like, I'm just going to watch.
I'd say season 3. Well, season 3. I thought I never watched the final season. I never.
Hey, Nick, you should Google when should I start watching Breaking Bad.
It was a close call. I actually thought about it, but I haven't watched that last season of that.
By the time you start watching it, it's going to be outdated because crack's not going to even be a thing.
Meth, right?
Meth.
Isn't it meth?
Thank you, Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, there you go. Just say no to drugs.
Jack said just say no to drugs that he doesn't even know what drugs are. He says he did marijuana back in the 80s, but it could have been crack cocaine.
It could have been. I don't know. Well, whatever Nancy was giving us, that's what we went with. Of course, Nancy Reagan went, get over here, Jesse Pinkman. Come on. I'll put a smile on your face. Don't say no to me.
Now, Nancy.
Well, that's not funny.
She told
you should have left that behavior back in the 30s.
Yeah.
She said, just call me ho. Just say no.
You know, good old Nancy. Her milkshake brings all the boys to the White House lawn.
Oh, man. That red dress.
Chris Doran say no to drugs, yes to Hummers.
Well, we know that's what how Schwarzenegger did it. So
her milkshake brings all the boys to the rose garden.
I never promised you a rose garden. Poor Nancy.
Well,
I guess that's
I guess there's no going back from hell from this point. Because
No.
because we're fucked.
Again, I understand why she did what she did. If that's what she did,
Nancy?
Okay. Well, it just it was unfortunate, but that's just how Hollywood was run.
She did it for the Gipper.
You need to get up for this game.
Take one for the.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, Nancy, I'm going to need one of those Gipper sippers. You know what I'm talking about? He just like wakes her up in the middle of the night.
Take your dentures out.
Oh, fuck. You're going to Republican hell for that one, Nick.
Nick was quiet for the last 2 minutes. He just came out with that fucking denture joke at the right time. Fucking swank for the fences.
Now, to be fair, I wouldn't be saying this if she was alive.
Yes, you would.
But she gets the GOP done. So, GOP GOP. Okay.
We did get an email from good old Randy. Sorry,
okay. All right.
Oh, Randy.
Okay.
What you got, bud?
It's not really an email. It's more of a question
gutter
and
joke?
answer. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we killed much lower than where we've been.
Got to bring us out of this spiral.
What's the best part about dating a Padres fan?
Okay.
I don't know. Life sucks. Like Nancy.
She won't be asking for a ring.
Oh, nice.
Not bad. Not bad.
Whatever. Yeah, I can't argue with you.
And that was our one email.
Well, thanks for that. Where do you send an email if I were to send it into this show?
I think the producer would know the answer to that.
Okay. I gave that up for Lent.
RCADcast at
Gmail.com.
I'll do that.
Also, subscribe. We're up to 108 subscribers. We've been booming.
108?
Since someone
I
else.
think we need to just stop it right there. at 108.
No.
Actually, I'm going to unsubscribe some of my other accounts just so that we always maintain 108.
And then I'll add my other accounts to
numbers,
it and
bud.
push it back up.
It's just like this weird, then I'm going to add.
That was Jay and I's worst day, is because Lindelof always, when he was on Twitter, always had 108. He was following 108 people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one day I go, oh, did we get booted? We got booted eventually, and he added someone else to the 108.
Ooh.
It hurt. I mean, it was like,
Yeah.
geez, man. I think I'll release your phone number to everybody
It
now.
was probably because of Tim.
It probably was, yeah.
I mean, I'd fucking unfollow us immediately following that incident. I wouldn't even gotten to the panel. I would have been like, unfollow.
I said no. So that was the one that hurt the most. The unfollow that hurt the most.
Yeah, but to be fair, some of your Twitter responses on that account were probably like, "That's a touchdown."
No, not on the Jane, not Jane Jack one.
Oh, okay,
I don't even know the password for it now.
that's a smoke monster.
Exactly. It was lost theories. Like, called it.
Called it. There you go.
You guys know. Sorry, this random story popped up, but you know who Chad Kroger is, right? Or Kruger, Chad Kroger.
Does
I
it go
know the
Krogering?
Fucking
Freddy Krueger.
the band everybody hates.
Go Krogering. Matt Gates.
The band everyone hates from Canada.
I thought you said the man everyone hates.
Good one. Nickelback.
There's a lot. There's a lot of bands.
Okay.
Nickelback. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's a singer of Nickelback. So he's done. Hang on. Almost 50 nativity plays in the United States, like for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
He's Canadian, which is weird.
Is that not allowed?
But he's played like Jesus. He's actually played Mary.
Does he know Nancy Reagan?
He played a sheep.
Does he know Jessica Wagner?
Maybe he's just trying to get the collection.
Oh, but you know what though? He couldn't make it as a wise man.
Got it.
Man, that was
great. Did you get that one from Randy?
That was for you, Randy. That one's for you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Chris, there's no me in failure. Only you.
That's awesome. I'm going to use that. I've never heard that before.
Thanks.
Oh my God.
If that is
Nick,
out there
Nick's still
before,
trying to recover from that amazing joke.
No, I'm writing down our notes.
He's giving up on this show.
if someone else has used that failure line, I don't know who, but I came
That's
up with
good.
that the other
I'm
night.
going to use it tomorrow.
I like that.
With my employees. There's no me in failure.
That could
There's
be
only you at
harassment,
this
right?
It's only you. What's up?
That could be harassment. You can't make fun of millennials. They'll cry.
Oh, did Nancy Reagan learn the ropes from Abigail Adams, the old lazy Susan?
Nice.
By ropes, she means like those like CrossFit ropes. Is that what we're talking about?
Spun around and round and round.
There is a.
It's in the First Lady's handbook.
I'm not even reading John's comment. Like, you can't say that out loud. Fucking hell. This whole fucking episode went to shit real quick.
I think we're getting canceled. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
we're gonna get
this,
censored. We're not gonna get canceled. We're gonna get censored.
this is the last.
I mean,
as
this
the
is why
last
we like to
Ramblecast.
just. Yeah, this is like we just like to talk about TV shows.
Fucking lazy Susan.
We get into.
So Nancy Reagan's the original deep throat.
I'll take First Lady's Hobbit.
She was the one that spilled all the information on
It was a
Watergate.
hit job because Reagan knew that Nixon would go far. So
I feel like
take him out.
This should have been like an
Nancy, get
SNL
over here.
Jeopardy category, like First Lady's hobbies for 500.
Well, there wasn't a lot to do back then, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
She is warmly referred to as the Lazy Susan. And the throat goat.
Oh my God.
You did it.
Well, Nick couldn't freeze up on that one.
You couldn't resist to say that out loud.
No.
Again, we're just having some fun. I mean, it's been reported. That's what
It's been 2 weeks. Give us a break.
Yeah, we're a little slow.
We're just so excited to see each other.
Hey, I started rewatching Wings. You guys remember that show?
Why the fuck would you do that?
I was on Paramount Plus.
Most random thing ever.
I know. I was on Paramount Plus, and I go, I haven't seen. Let me go. I go.
There's a
And
few actors.
I got into it.
No, it barely made it back then.
It was funny. Come
No,
on.
I like Wings. My dad likes. I mean,
we wouldn't have Monk.
But it's one of those
Exactly.
traditional sitcoms where it's just like get on with it, because it was a lot of times it was just like, I don't need to see this episode.
Well,
that
Lowell,
was
it's a different show too after Lowell leaves too. But Lowell really makes a lot of that.
Lowell
And
and
Roy was
Sam,
probably
man.
my favorite character.
Roy.
Roy Biggins.
Roy, he was the other flight. He owned the other.
Yeah, the other
airline.
line.
Oh yeah.
Was it
He
Sandpiper
was.
Air?
Sandpiper,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually based off of
Air
like,
Mass.
a legitimate airport in Flight Path.
Yeah, Tom Nivers Field or something like that. That's a real place, isn't it?
Yeah. It's in
Yeah.
Hyannis.
Yeah, I'm
There's-
on season 2.
There's some good episodes though. I rewatched it like just as an evening before bed show a while ago. So
Alex, the helicopter pilot, she died this year.
Yes,
Oh,
she did.
really?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
54, I think.
She had
What?
cancer or something. Yeah.
Oh,
And
Oh,
she was
that's
wow.
awful. Man.
On that note, that's pretty cheery.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I liked Wings.
Yeah, I like I said, it's something I'm like bored. I'll just watch it.
There's some Cheers crossovers that I think happened on.
Well, they had at the start of season 2, the Cliff and Norm
Norm. Yeah.
fly out there, and Cliff's driving.
But I think there's a Frasier crossover too with Wings.
Probably a
think,
lot
at
of.
some
I think
point.
I think it was on Thursday nights, wasn't it? Was it part of Must See
It
TV?
was Thursday night. Yeah.
I swear there's
later.
a Frasier and Lilith are on an episode or something like that, but I could be wrong. So, Matt Treese would know without even having to look. He would just be like, "You were wrong.
It happened on January 7th.
I remember
You were correct.
Good thing I didn't say the 6th.
I always remembered watching those shows back then where they're like, "Oh, this show's moving to Friday nights now." You just kind of go, "Kiss of death."
Yeah.
You're
Well, it
canceled.
used to be Friday nights was the Fridays and Saturday nights used to be the best night for television,
Right.
in the early 70s, and then it just changed because people said, "Hey, we can go out and have a good time. We don't have to." I think the movies took over.
Yeah, I mean that, and just like because exactly Thursday in the '90s was it, and then with HBO, everything moved to Sundays because now
Right.
you think everything comes out on Sundays now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and now does it matter when it doesn't really matter when anything's on?
No, but I think Sundays have taken over as far as like a premiere night where things are well, and then you have Disney Plus. They drop stuff on like Wednesday or Friday, depending on the.
Yeah. Only Murders drops on Tuesdays.
But see, back then you
Martin dropped all the time.
the problem is you had to watch it
Right.
back then. You couldn't just go, okay, it's dropped. Okay, I can watch it tomorrow.
Well, because there was that water cooler moments, and now it's more like water cooler moments are what we're doing. Hey, I'm watching this right now. Hey, you should watch that. Oh, did you check out this? It's like
Randy said, "Love American Style," which was on Friday nights. John, Dallas, and then after Dallas, you had Falcon Crest.
Yeah, these shows were on in the background while I was, playing with Star Wars. What's that?
No, I'm saying that.
Did you say getting what?
Getting beat.
Getting beat. Boom. Get out of here, Matt. Come on.
Those were the days. I'm telling you.
Watch my stories.
Those were the days.
Oh, that's interesting. So Matt K, a different Matt, is here in the chat.
We got too many Matts.
Yeah.
One of you have to leave.
I tried, and then I just kept coming back. Not even. I left, and I lost all my pension, so I'm not even getting paid.
Did you really leave?
Well, I'm not getting paid anymore, so I guess I am a free agent.
Well,
did you set up a bed behind you?
Yeah.
That's his artist. That's his artist station.
No, that's not my artist station. That's where I get it. Oh,
he does have a bed behind him.
No, I do. I have a bed. I have a bed over there. So my painting area is actually over there. So, and then the drawing space is actually on the other side. So, yeah.
Wow. So you got a lot of creative space going on there.
You could call it that.
I think you just did.
Is that where you film your movies with?
That's what I figured. It's his porn station. You
No,
got to make ends meet somehow.
I know an actress that might be available.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she's dead now.
Yeah,
Matt's got his own OnlyFans.
Yep.
It's actually his only crayons.
There's my. You can kind of see part of my setup over here through all of that. So
he is fan favorite,
like over in that area. So
You should.
does it come with a sharpener? That's what we need to know. Draw me like Randy says. Draw me like your other girls.
And then I have my lights over there that just turned on. All right.
Oh,
So yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, that's my little station. And
Hey, you want to come back to my house for some extra credit?
thanks, Chris, for all of the likes on TikTok. I appreciate.
What do you mean, Chris? What about this guy?
Everybody sign up to be a member for Matt's Only
I
Crayons.
went. I think I liked everyone. Hey, hold on a second. I think I went and liked all your videos.
Can you change your TikTok name to Only Crayons, please?
Only Crayons. No, we can make a separate one that's just called Only Crayons.
Have you not noticed I've liked your videos?
Yeah, no, I did.
Oh,
I
you
did.
thank Chris. You say fuck off to me. That's all right.
No, I mean, like, Chris is almost like a daily thing where, like, if I post one, I know at some point he's on TikTok and he's gonna see it. So.
Yeah. I like the most recent one I watched. It was the guy transforming into the afterlife and fucking going into a dolphin, bro.
Yeah.
Into your dolphin paper company.
Yeah.
I even shared it on Twitter.
Oh, you did? You shared one of mine?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's
It
awesome.
took me a while to figure it out, but I did it.
That's cool. Thank you for.
Yeah, I'd have to beg for a thank you.
No, I do appreciate it. It's what I do now, and it's a lot. It's so there's like a daily drawing that I'm.
When are you going to do the live one? I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Get some breast implants.
Yeah. Okay.
And
First,
wear a low tuck. Have the camera like facing over here.
Yeah.
So that they see your breast.
And
you'll have like 1 million.
I thought my malformed hand was good enough for these people, right? Like,
no.
Okay.
No.
I mean, it's kind of unique, you know.
It's unique, but people are more into breasts.
If I drew tits on my hand while I drew.
Ooh, there you go.
Or I just actually just have a computer generated like boob filter that just like pops onto my
You have to be called Only Crayons if you do.
This is a pretty ripe so subscribe to Only Mats. That would be funny because there are a lot of mats out there. And it could just be like a whole.
There are a lot of mats out there.
A whole vine of just mats. Sorry, I didn't realize until now. This is that my microphone was not even on me, so I apologize. That
I like it better the other way.
Oh, okay.
Well, when Matt started, we lost a listener. Someone in the chat.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
That's fair. So, so this episode's called Only Crayons.
Could be.
Or that, or we want to go with Nancy Reagan.
Oh, Nancy Reagan's Only Crayons.
Yeah.
Just say no.
Or Nancy Reagan Only Fans.
Nancy only Nancy's fans. Fancy Nancy fans.
Nancy Reagan's Only Fans.
The throat goat.
If what we said didn't get us canceled, what we post will. So
Yeah,
that's pretty much the goal every time we get off this thing. So, and I do mean get off this thing.
We figured that. Again, we kid because we care.
For Nancy.
I know that when I get on here, you guys are going to kid me about something.
Of course.
Yeah.
Did we kid you about anything today?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My bed. Back
yeah,
here.
the last 10 minutes. Sorry.
The last 10 minutes.
I think Randy named it. You know,
Throat goat.
Yeah. Or we can just write who is the
throat goat?
Who's throat goat?
Who is throat goat? Yeah.
Or deep throat goat.
Well, the other goat's probably looking for a new wife, right? Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a thing?
Well, yeah, he left the team for like 11 days, came back, and he's trying to work. I mean, I'm not making fun of it, but
you're down with this? You know this stuff, huh?
She's pissed. She's pissed that he came back. He said he wasn't going to play anymore.
But I mean, this was like 2 weeks ago. I heard this news. There's nothing else
Yoko
moved.
Ono, dude.
Well,
she's the Yoko Ono of the NFL.
She's the reason they had to leave New England. Really, I was just making that up.
You want to go down south?
In more ways than one.
So did a lot of people.
So did Nancy Reagan.
What do Nancy and Giselle have in common?
Down.
They both wanted to go down.
I like it when you flex your Boston accent there. That's fun.
It's not even real. I don't even have a Boston accent.
I know, but it's the manufacturer. It's authentic. Yeah. It feels baked in, like Boston beans.
Yeah, nice. She's in the guitar. It's your cousin from Boston.
All right, is that all we got?
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come back next week. Have something better.
All right.
True.
We'll be back next week.
Maybe.
But at this time, if you want to become a patron, go to jandjack.com, click on the button to become a patron. We might not be back next week. It's 50-50 chance we're back next week.
It's a good chance we might get canceled.
Yeah, we might get canceled. I mean, I get it. But we'd like to thank five, maybe for the last time, thank 5 patrons. Tack from Paris, Eckhart Rickner Glaffeler, and the creepy letter carrier, Joanne with the plan, who still has not answered the question about
I think we should send her a letter.
It's because she doesn't listen to us, dude.
Yeah, I think we physically have to send her a letter.
She used to send us emails all the time.
Well, she heard that I left, and then that was it.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think
Anyway,
so.
and then Maggie the Magnificent. Thanks for doing what you do and all that fun stuff. We'll be back later on. Yes, and tune in Sunday night at 10 p.m. for NFL recap.
Joanne was a Tim fan.
No. The only Tim fan was Tim. I say that because he doesn't follow me on anything
I
anymore.
missed him.
He was good. He was good. What are you doing, Matt?
Oh, I just poked a hole in a Post-it note. So now I'm just kind of like this, like little, like, hi, I'm a little.
How did you?
It's Nancy's point of
to
view.
be born.
Hi, hi, remember me?
Oh, put me back in.
I don't like it out here.
I don't want to come out. 9 months trying to get out, the rest of your life trying to get back in.
Exactly.
Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. All right, guys.
Yeah, please
Thanks
thanks
for
for
everyone
I'm
that-
not looking at that anymore. This is creeping me out.
Yeah, thanks for joining us in the chat. Again, we'll probably be back next Wednesday. I can do a couple more Wednesdays until Survivor starts.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, well, after that, then I'm out. Peace out.
Bye, everyone.
You're back.
God bless.
Goodbye.
And
Yeah.
subscribe.
If you want.
No, do it.